Oh, yes, Jehovah God, thank you, Lord, for another day. If I see tomorrow, give thanks. Now, you know what a lot of people saying? They are not getting notification. So Facebook's trying to sabotage us now because they find we speaking all truth and facts, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Facebook trying to lick me out. So a lot of people saying they don't get no notification anymore. I don't know why. Aside Facebook, you only Facebook eventually have your own platform, you know. Okay, good night, women. Yes, women, beloved alive. And then we're going to have just, oh my goodness, women. Whew. I'm so scared for women, man. It's amazing. Women. Yeah, miss, have a good night. Yeah, Tarek, my son, locked in, my brother. I love you, brother. I love you, son. Yes. Tonight, Sophia, good evening. Tonight, we're going to talk about for women only. And if you see how many women just today alone have breast cancer, it's amazing, man. I don't know where the cancer coming from. Huh? And we just talking on the phone with another sister. And we have a sister doing some our program, and she's doing wonderful. The breast is much better. There's a little sore on the breast, and she's doing wonderful, man. That's what I'm going to tell you. So you see her for women only? For women only. For women only. Breast cancer, ovarian cancer, yeast infection, PCOS, and uterine fibroids and uterine cancer. For our women to protect you all. Don't lose all your uterus. Yes, son? Yeah. I want all the women to share the life because we're going to teach you what the doctor don't teach you all. I'm going to teach the women what the doctor don't teach them. Chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. Huh? Yes. I want to give thanks and praise to the Most High. Chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. Cut off the breast. Take out the uterus. Remove the ovaries. But the cancer is still there. Now we don't want to fight down the chemotherapy because sometimes women have to do these things. Sometimes you have to take the chemicals. It's according to where the cancer is at, but I'm going to educate you. Yeah? And we have a lot from today. Women from Canada, Dominica, from Guyana, from Jamaica, New York, cancer, breast cancer. A few people call today with stomach cancer. And stomach cancer is one of the most difficult cancers to repair. Yeah? Like pancreatic cancer. So it's difficult to treat this cancer. So don't get it. So I'm going to teach the woman now, tonight, what you can do to prevent breast cancer and uterine cancer and ovarian cancer and PCOS and uterine fibroid and keep your uterus intact. Because you are the cradle of civilization. You are the mother of civilization. Your womb should be blessed because you're the mother of civilization. All of us came from a woman. Dig that. Hey, wonderful. Now look at the rules, women. Look at the rules for me. And I want you to take the live after. Download the live, and you can share it with another woman or another sister who you know is fighting breast cancer, ovarian cancer, yeah? Rule number 1. You cannot use cheese if you have breast cancer. Remember, there's not only hormonal breast cancer, but there's also triple negative breast cancer. Come from the BRCA gene 1 and the BRCA gene 2. So the BRCA gene 1 and BRCA gene 2 cancer is not hormonal cancer. That's a different type of cancer. That's a junk gene. Because the BRCA gene is supposed to protect you from cancer. But because you, the woman, make the BRCA gene become a junk gene, you get cancer from the BRCA gene. And then they remove your breasts. Both of them gone. Because you didn't know better. You didn't know that your BRCA gene can be turned back from a junk gene to a good gene. Yeah? So to make you feel when you have the BRCA gene that it's a junk gene, you got to take your breasts off. They don't educate you. Yeah. So, women, even though you have the BRCA gene, the jung gene, you can turn it back around. If you have HER breast cancer or ER estrogen receptors breast cancer, which is the most prominent cancer in women, I'm going to show you how you could fight that cancer if you have it, or how you can prevent it, and how you can prevent high prolactin levels that can cause you to get breast cancer and cause you to get pituitary tumors also, and PCOS, and uterine fibroids. Yeah? Well, wonderful. Now, no cheese, no milk, no eggs, no pipe water, no eating in plastic bowls, and do not put water in plastic cups and put the plastic cup with the water in the refrigerator and freeze them. Do not heat plastic bowls in your microwave ovens because you are going to eat xenohormones from the plastic bowls. Those are the culprits. They're the man-made estrogen. Yeah? Prevent constipation. Don't be constipated at all, because constipation could cause you to get uterine fibroids, PCOS, ovarian cysts, cancer in the uterus, breast cancer also, and even colon cancer. So don't be constipation. Don't be constipated. These are the rules you have to follow once you have breast cancer. If it's ER receptor breast cancer, not PR, ER. The BRCA gene, same principle though. Although the BRCA gene is not hormonal cancer. Yeah? Triple negative. That's a very dangerous cancer. Women, I'm telling you all, do not get cancer at all. But try your best not to get the jung gene, BRCA gene cancer, BRCA1, because it is triple negative and it is very aggressive. It's going to take your life. Yeah? Wonderful. So no fried food, prevent constipation, no soy products at all, and no sex. See them? About no sex, about, whoa, Patrick, that's crazy. No sex, I must have my little thing. He said about, ha ha ha, that's only a question mark. Say no sex, they say, God damn, boy. We die. We could dead now because we can't eat no food, we have no sex either. Wonderful. All right, now, for women only, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, yeast infection, PCOS, uterine fibroids. Now, what are cytokines? We wanted to put everything on the computer, but we wanted to take too long, so we're going to do it like this. What are cytokines? Cytokines is a group of proteins that act as chemical messengers. Interferon, interleukin, 1, 2, 6, 12. We're going to talk about cytokines, what they do. Negative, positive. Yeah? Well, here we go again. So cytokines is a group of proteins that act as chemical messengers. Why do cancer, breast cancer that is, spread from the breast into other organ system? When a woman Th lymphocyte releases these cytokines that promote estrogen, that promote the growth of tumor cells. Why cancer spread to woman to the organs after the woman have cancer on her breast? It because that Th2 lymphocyte, a Ph2 lymphocyte, they releases cytokines. And the cytokines in turn will promote estrogen that will promote the growth of tumor cells in your breast and in other organ system, the lung, the liver, and sometimes it go to the brain, because this sister here tonight, the cancer went to her brain. The cancer left her breast and went to her brain. I know she had radiation. She says she's in remission in the brain, but the cancer is still in her breast, and it is also in her liver. So that's the reason why your cancer is spreading, because your Th or Ph2 lymphocyte releases these cytokines, and these cytokines promote lots of estrogen that promote the growth of your tumor cells. So your tumor cells keep on growing and keep on growing and keep on growing, and they're gonna give you more chemo and more chemo and more chemo. But you think he don't know that? Your oncologist knows for a fact that this lymphocyte releases cytokines that promote your estrogen. He knows that. But he wanted to give you more chemo, and he will give you more chemo, make it come back, and make it come back, and then give you a 5-year survival rate. He knows better. So he knows for a fact that them guys here releases the cytokines, but he won't tell you that. He know that for a fact. But he wants you to come back and take more chemotherapy because he know for a fact that these cytokines promote estrogen. And that same estrogen promotes the growth of the tumor cells. But he won't tell you because you say, well, I want to give us 6 treatment, 4 weeks treatment, 6 months of treatment. So he will never teach you these things. He don't want you to know nothing. You see? So I want to educate you so then you could ask them questions and educate them also. Right? Number 2. Number 3. What can women do? Women can encourage the production of the Th1 or Ph1 lymphocyte, which will do the opposite of the Th1 or Ph2 lymphocyte. What can a woman do when she has breast cancer? Once you have breast cancer, it don't matter if you have the cancer from the BRCA gene. It don't matter if you have DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ. It don't matter if you have ER, estrogen receptor breast cancer. You have to encourage the production of your Th1 lymphocyte, which will do the opposite of the Th2 lymphocyte. This lymphocyte right here will do the opposite of this one. This one releases cytokines, this one don't. This one is your protector because he will cause your tumor cells to dry up, kill them off. That's what he does. So I want you to ask your doctor if I am lying or if I am speaking the truth. And he can never tell you that I'm lying. Because women can encourage the production of the Th1 lymphocyte, and there's a way for you all to do that. But they won't teach you all that, though. So I'm going to teach you all how to encourage your Th1 lymphocyte, which will do the opposite of the Th2 lymphocyte. He releases cytokines that promote estrogen, and in turn, estrogen promotes the growth of tumor cells. He does the opposite to that. Women have to learn before you're going to take off all your breast and still die from breast cancer long term. 5-year survival rate with tamoxifen, which gives you uterine cancer 5 years. And you have to come off. So 5 years is only a survival rate. He don't say you cure, he say you're going to survive for 5 years. And after 5 years, your cancer come back again. At 10 years, it come back. 15 years, it come back. Because the cancer did not go anywhere. It was only in your breast. Yeah, bro? Dig it, so you take it off. Wonderful. Wisdom is justified by our children. What is the job of the macrophages? Answer. The job of our macrophages is to clean up debris from our cells. And those are cells that are damaged and are inflamed, that can cause you to get inflammation or irritation, which can cause you to get inflammation, and is normal in tissue development. But that same macrophages can also damage your tissues. The same macrophages that's supposed to clean up debris from your cells that is damaged, they can in turn damage your tissues if you are doing the wrong thing when you have breast cancer. So that's the job of the macrophages. They clean up debris from our cells that are damaged and inflamed, especially if the woman have cancer and the cancer leave the breast and goes into her lymphatic system where it is affecting the nodes, because in your lymphatic system you house your macrophages and your T lymphocytes. I come to teach the woman so you all could teach your children, because eventually them children going to get up just like the mother, and they're going to have it in their family, and then your children are going to get big and they're going to have to grow and they're going to get the same breast cancer like you had, because they know better. That's the job of the macrophages. We're going further now. Can cancer cells trick your macrophages? Ha! Can cancer cells trick your macrophages? You're damn right they can. Let me show you a scene. When the army soldiers are on the ground, don't they camouflage? Don't they go in the bush and wear all them green stuff and they camouflage from the enemy? And the enemy cannot identify these soldiers because they camouflage? Huh? The same thing happens with cancer cells. They can trick your macrophages. Let me show you how. Can cancer cells trick the macrophages? Yes, they can. How do they do that, Patrick? They're the cancer cells. They send the wrong signal that can stimulate your blood vessels, causing your blood vessels to grow and in turn feed your cancer cells. Because your cancer cells create blood vessels also, just like your normal cells do, to feed. Just like how your normal cells need estrogen, need nutrients, your cancer cells also need nutrients too, to feed and grow. And that's why they form these tumors. So the cancer cells does trick the macrophages because they camouflage. And when they camouflage, they start sending the wrong signal that can stimulate the blood vessels, causing them to grow, and in turn, they start feeding your cancer cells. What does stop that, Patrick? Just go get the MCP for me, brother. Let me show you something right here. I'm going to show you to kill them off. Looking right here. This guy, when you have this guy, the cancer cell, can never trick your macrophages because you got modified citrus pectin. Whoa. Where does modified citrus pectin come from? Oranges. And orange peel have anti-tumor activity, have linolene. Tangerine skin, grapefruit skin, but you throw it away though. Huh? Because you say it have cellulose. But you didn't know that this same citrus pectin or citrus peel can prevent that cancer cell from tricking your macrophages. Because what the cancer cell does, he camouflages and he moves into your circulatory system in the blood. And he starts moving from your lung and he wants to go to the liver, because once the cancer goes into the lung, he's going to go to your liver, because the liver is wood and the lung is metal cut wood. Or he goes to the brain and he camouflages. And once he camouflages, he will move into the bloodstream, and then your immune system will be tricked to taking him for a good guy. And he moves in your liver, and he forms a colony there, and he disrupts the function of your liver, and he starts to feed and grow because he camouflages. Follow me now. Tangerine skin, orange peel, grapefruit skin, all the citrus pectin uncoats the cancer cell. It uncoats him when he tries to camouflage so that he cannot fool your macrophages. They don't teach you them things because them things is chemotherapy, my things from the earth. So can cancer cells trick the macrophages? Yes, they can. How, Patrick? By sending the wrong signal that can stimulate blood vessels, causing them cancer cells to grow and in turn feed, and cause more tumors. And that's why you remove your breast. You remove your uterus. You take it out. And one cell got away. And he hide for 2 years. And then he come back. And he move into another organ. And he disrupt the function of that organ. And you're the woman in trouble. And they give you more chemo and more radiation. Knowing that radiation causes secondary cancers. Let's go again. That's why we create a program for women only. Woo. What can DHEA do? Woo. Especially if you have ER receptor breast cancer. What can DHEA do? Answer. DHEA, which is found or formed in your adrenal glands, very significant because we know for a fact that when you are very stressful, your body produces lots of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Once cortisol is produced and is in abundance, your Th2 lymphocyte will cause your cancer to grow. DHEA can stimulate the production of lymphocytes in a small amount, 25 milligrams for women. DHEA can stimulate the production of lymphocytes that can what? Infiltrate tumors. Spies. American spy, German spy, Russian spy, Ukraine spy. I don't know if Africa have spies, boy. You think we Africans are spies? Spies. So that DHEA is like a spy. Because he stimulates the production of the lymphocyte, your killers. And these lymphocytes go in like a spy, like in Jericho, when God sent the spies to spy out the land. Huh? And they can infiltrate tumors. We call them T helper cells. Air Force, I call them. So this DHEA, in a small amount, can stimulate the production of your Th1 lymphocyte. And then they, in turn, will infiltrate your tumors, causing your Th helper cells, Air Force, to wrap them up. Follow me now. Come over here, son. This is the Army. This is the Air Force. Army is in Ukraine, on the ground. Army is bogged down. Yeah? Army say, "Oh, hey boy, Air Force, I'm bogged down. I can't move." Air Force say, "We coming." And Air Force come. Yeah? We call them T lymphocytes. T helper cells. So when one cell bogged down, he in trouble, he calls the other guy and say, "Yo, come over here, man. I'm in trouble." And then he, the Air Force, come. Boop, and he come over there and say, "Boop, boop, 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 boop," and he bomb the enemy. Right, son? He bombs the enemy out. And after he bombed the infect and he bombed the enemy, then the ground troops, they going in. And you will tell me that God don't live? Who gonna tell me that Jehovah don't live? Who gonna create a system like that but Jehovah God, the Almighty, the creator of the heavens and earth? Who else can create a system like that? Only God. Only Jehovah. Yahweh. He's the only one. But they make us feel that he's so stupid, he didn't know what he was doing, so that it was something else. to overcome. But if we can stimulate the production of the lymphocytes, they will infiltrate any tumor and destroy them. Because God is great. Let's go again. Th2 lymphocytes. These guys here, they generate IL-6 TNFO, interleukin. Th2 lymphocytes generates IL, leukin, interferon, 6, TNF, tumor necrosis factor. They are estrogen that generates cytokines and cause you to get inflammation and cause your breast to swell and cause your cancer to move. This guy. But the doctor don't tell you these things because they want you to be ignorant and give you the poison they call chemotherapy and radiation. I don't say don't take it now. Yeah, I'm only showing you that you have an army, you have an air force, you have a navy that can fight for you if you put them in balance. Because that's how God created them, to protect. And if by any chance you get harmed, you get hurt, they are there to heal you, because the body heals itself. Anybody come and tell about them as healer? They don't damn body no healer. Come on now. Huh? Who healer? Who is healer? I have all that heard say, I just cure this, I just cure that. Ain't nobody cure nothing. No man could cure nothing unless he speaks to the Most High. Unless he goes to the Most High, and then the Most High put your body in a system, in a range, in a balanced state, and then in turn your body heal itself. The man who is helping you, he is only a channel to your healing. But he is not a healer. He is not God. God is the ultimate healer of all things. You follow me? But you can heal yourself, so you are the healer. Wonderful. What does a Th1 lymphocyte do, Patrick? There's a difference in the Th or Ph1 and Ph2 lymphocyte. What does the Th1 lymphocyte do? We now see what the Th2 lymphocyte does. They generate IL-6, TNF, and these here are estrogen that generate cytokines that cause you women, cancer to move or spread. This guy does that. You have to get rid of this guy and make him go down. And make this guy, go up. The Th1 lymphocyte. These guys is your protector. They are your healers. They are your killers. Here what they do. They produce interleukin 2, IL-2, interferon, tumor necrosis factor, TNF, beta, TNFB, or cytokines that inhibits tumor growth. Oh, God damn, God, I tell you, God is great. Or you better go to Jehovah God and go back to the earth. And when you go back to the earth with Jehovah God, foods, he gonna make these things work for you. He won't take off your breast though. He won't take off your uterus, because he give you the uterus to be the mother of civilization. Yeah? So the T1 lymphocyte, they produce interleukin 2, IL, interferon, tumor necrosis factor, beta, TNFB, or cytokines that inhibit tumor growth and do what again? Oh, Patrick, go ahead and suppress estrogen dominance. suppresses estrogen dominance, so you, the woman, don't get fibroids, don't get PCOS, don't get ovarian cysts, don't get pituitary tumor, don't get hyperlactin levels. This guy here. And that is the reason why your cancer keep on coming back. Even after you take chemotherapy, even after you do the tamoxifen for 5 years, it comes back. Even after you remove the breast, because you go back doing the same thing, increasing the function of the bad guys and limiting the good guys. So your cancer must come back, because you go back. You didn't go forward, you went back doing the same thing, woman. And that's why I'm so saddened today, because I am on social media for years and I'm teaching women how to take care of the reproductive system, and women still coming down with all this type of cancer in the breast. Oh God, I feel sad, but better than do no program, because a lot of women ain't learning nothing like that. The man coming with pure prostate cancer. They come in here today again with prostate cancer. They ain't learning. And they run to the man, and all the man know to do is to chop off your shit, chop off your dick, chop off your balls, he castrate you, take out your prostate gland, your sex life dead, your woman gone, she leave your ass because your piggy can't get hard, because prostate gone, testicles gone, hormone all high in your ass, estrogen, and your breast get big like a woman. Take that. Yeah? And you feel you could have killed the pussy, the pum-pum. Wonderful. Now, whew. So, the Th1 lymphocytes, they produce interleukin IL-2 interferon tumor necrosis factor, look it up, beta, TNF-B, or cytokines that inhibits tumor growth. Inhibits tumor growth. And in the process of inhibiting the tumor growth, they suppress estrogen and prevent you, the woman, from becoming estrogen dominance. They give you all these growths. And all the so-called man-made estrogen stacks up against you. And once the man-made estrogen stacks up against you as a woman, it invades the receptors, because they steal your combination lock to your receptors, because now he is more than the natural estrogen that Jehovah God put in you, to move out via your liver. Yeah? And he steals it. The man-made one, the man that killing you all every day, the same man, the same food he gave us to eat. He put so much estrogen in the food, so much pesticide, so much herbicide, so much DDT, whatever they call them, or DDE. And it caused you in the cheese, and the eggs, and the milk, and the plastic bowls, and the plastic cups, and the water, and the chlorine when you take a shower, goes in your pores. Oh my goodness. And he in turn caused his estrogen that he put in your food to steal your combination lock to your receptors. And when they go into the receptors, they can never act as the natural estrogen. They stimulate and don't stop. They can't stop because they know how to stop. Dig it. Yeah. Woman. Th1 lymphocyte suppresses estrogen dominance. What is the job of progesterone? Because women between the age of 15 and up to 50 or 60, they are estrogen dominance because they're eating a lot of fast foods. So what is the job of progesterone? Progesterone, he is your protector from estrogen. What is the job of progesterone, Patrick? The first job of progesterone is to reduce or reverse the effects of induced enzyme from lymphocyte lowering estradiol, which is a dangerous estrogen. Follow me now, women. I said progesterone reduces or it reverses the effects of induced enzymes from lymphocytes Th2 lymphocytes, low in estradiol, the most dangerous estrogen in a woman's system. Follow me now. The second job of progesterone is to convert estradiol into estrone, which is the weaker estrogen. And this estrogen, once it is weakened from estradiol, your liver have to be working properly, and your liver must excrete it. Because your liver manufacture and your liver also remove estrogen or estrone, and it weak it into the less estriol. So once this progesterone start to convert estradiol into estrone, the weaker estrogen, now it turns into what? Estriol. And your liver excretes it to the bowels. And that is the reason why you cannot be constipated as a woman, because you are going to have recycling estrogen coming back into the portal vessel, and then your cancer going to feed on that, or your fibroid going to feed on that, and your cyst going to feed on that, and then you're going to get PCOS, and your ovaries going to start producing androgen, which is a man hormone, going to give you bed, and then your doctor going to put you on metformin because he's going to treat you for insulin resistance. Women, you have to learn and teach your girl children. Clean them up. Because they're going to be estrogen dominant like you when they get older, in the 20s and the 30s, because of the food chain. The third job of progesterone is to make this estrone now. This is very bad. This one is killers. They kill the woman. So, but the third job of progesterone is to make the same estrone that convert from estradiol. They make the estrone less active, making the conversion much safer from estrone to estriol. You can never get cancer because your liver move him out. So this estriol is the least effective estrogen that don't mash you up as a woman or harm you like estradiol and estrone. They are the most dangerous for you women. And once you have them floating around in your system, you're going to get some form of growth in your uterus. You're going to get some form of growth in your ovaries. You're going to get some form of growth in the cervix or in your breast, or you are going to have troubles in your liver. So that's what estrogen does. Progesterone does. Job number 1, mark it down, ladies. Progesterone reduce or revolt the effects of induced enzyme from lymphocytes, lowering estradiol. 2, progesterone converts estradiol into estrone, the weaker estrogen. 3, progesterone makes estrone less active, making the conversion much safer for estrogen to estriol. And your liver, if it's working properly, it excretes it. And then you have a bowel movement and it's gone. And that's why I said in the beginning, do not be constipated as a woman, because you're going to get breast cancer long term because you have recycling estrogen. Let's go again. Job number 4 of progesterone is to prevent a woman's estrogen receptors. Oh my goodness. The 4th job of progesterone, natural progesterone from plant source, is to prevent a woman's estrogen receptors, which help prevent excessive amount of estrogen from promoting tumor cell division. Progesterone, that's the 4th job it has. It prevents you, the woman's estrogen receptors, which help prevent excessive amount of estrogen from promoting tumor cell division. So, if you have enough progesterone, and you have the LH, luteinizing hormone, and you have the FSH follicle stimulating hormone, and you have them balanced from the pituitary gland in your brain, everything will be normal and balanced, and everything will be excreted. You see, you must have the LH and the FSH in balance. You can't have them like that, because you will get some kind of tumor in the pituitary gland, or you can get hyprolactin levels, which can cause an enzyme to cause you, the woman, to get breast cancer long term. We're going to remove the video. Now, when you do all these things with progesterone as a woman, what is the results? When you, the woman, normalize your follicle stimulating hormone with your luteinizing hormone, when you, the woman, normalize or convert estradiol into estrone, into estriol, what happens? What is the result? The results is this. You, the woman, reduces the tumor's ability to create estradiol, stopping the growth of cancer cells. Once you, the woman, balance back all of them via the pituitary gland in your brain using a herb called chase tree berries. Vitex, they call it. Because Vitex helps to normalize the function of the pituitary. Because the pituitary need a signal from the hypothalamus gland. All the glands work together. The hypothalamus gland is the master gland. The pineal gland is the spiritual gland of the body. But the pituitary must receive a signal from the hypothalamus gland in the brain. And once that signal is sent in balance, your pituitary gland as a woman will start to normalize your LH and your FSH, which in turn will normalize your both estrogen and your progesterone, preventing what? PCOS, preventing fibroids, preventing growth in the ovaries, preventing growth in the uterus and in the cervix, because they are in balance. Because the pituitary, anterior, posterior, and the middle part of the gland. One, deal with the kidney. So the pituitary gland controls the thyroid gland. The pituitary gland controls what? The adrenal glands. The pituitary gland controls your kidney, the water balance. Your pituitary gland controls your pancreas, your insulin production. But it has to be in balance, though, in all of the glands. In order for the gland to work properly and have you, the woman, preventing cancer and growth. Now, so when you have a balance in progesterone and estrogen, no estrogen dominance, they reduce the tumor ability if you have cancer. So when you have cancer in your breast and you start balancing back these hormones together and you start to balance back the Th1 lymphocyte, rise it up, and preventing the cytokine storm, you start reducing the tumor's ability. So you are creating what we call, you preventing no angiogenesis. You are not preventing a tumor from creating blood vessels so they cannot grow and go someplace else and branch off into the bloodstream. Because now they are reduced and their ability to create estradiol stops. So they can't make your cancer grow. And that is the reason why I said before that you must go back to the earth, because that is where you are from. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You go back there because you can only get all your cures from the earth, because that is where you're from. You can never ever go in a factory or in a lab and make a chemical and come out and expect that chemical to balance your natural system. It ain't going to happen. It might make you feel good, or it might curb it for a while, but you won't fix it. Now, when you have enough progesterone, it reduces the tumor's ability to create estradiol, stopping the growth of cancer cells. By what? By working on the adrenals, dropping the stress hormone called cortisol levels. And once the cortisol level drops, then your Th1 lymphocyte rises. And when the Th1 lymphocyte rises, then all these tumors start to shrink, because now you're going to put B5 for the cortex, and you're going to put DHEA for the medulla of the adrenals. So once there is a balance, which you don't have as a woman, that's where your cancer coming back, you reduce the tumor's ability to create estradiol, stopping the growth of cancer cells by working on the adrenals. And while you are working on the adrenals, you are in balance, and now all your cortisol levels start dropping. And once the cortisol levels start dropping, your Th1 lymphocytes start rising, and your stress is gone. And then all of a sudden, your tumors start to go away, because the Th1 lymphocyte is shrinking them, killing them. I want a doctor to come and doubt what I'm saying now. They can't. Deep down in their heart, they know I'm speaking truth. I want any doctor to come on this live and say, Patrick, that you're talking bullshit. Because they know I'm talking facts. He talking crap, we have to do chemotherapy and radiation and blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing that works for them. So then why the woman die from breast cancer after a while? I'm not saying that you all can die from breast cancer using natural treatment. Dr. Lauren Day, look her up. She did not do no chemotherapy, and she's a doctor. She said, I don't want no poison. I'm going back to the earth. Fresh air, fresh food, forgiveness, no hate, no jealousy, free mind, no stress. And she's cancer-free now after 17 years. With no chemotherapy, no radiation, no mastectomy. And she's a doctor. She's right. She said, and they all said, you better take the chemotherapy because you're going to die. And she was on a deathbed. But you know what? She came back. Now, I always ask women to do a test. It's called a complete blood count, a differential. And that's why I said before that the medical system is also important. You have herbalists, don't deal with the medical system. I'm not like them. I deal with the medical system. I work with a doctor if I have to. And I could learn from him, and he can learn from me, because he knows about herbs. Because I learn about drugs. Because I work with a pharmacist, and they teach me about drugs. And then you have to have this book in school for herb, food, and drug interaction. So you have to know what the food will do with the herb you're taking, and what the herb will do to the drug you're taking. So I learned that. So I'm not going to say I'm just doing it with the herbs. I have to learn these things, because I have to know how the food works. I have to know how the herbs work, and I have to know how the drugs work. So that's what they do. That's where they're good. I work with them. I would work with an oncologist. Then we work with an oncologist from Canada, and she was very graceful, because the cancer patient is still living now. Although they give her 6 months to live, she living how long? 3 years now, right? 3 years, because we plug up the hole in her lungs. And she, the oncologist, said, how the hell you all did that? CMOS! What is that? Come on here! CMOS! We plug up that cancer patient lung with CMOS. The doctor was amazed. CMOS! How does CMOS do that? Because CMOS is the demulcent plant. It plugs up the holes in the lung. Yeah? And we had her on the phone. And I said to her, you are giving the patient a drug that's going to cause her to get bone loss. So get her some calcium. Because doctors are not nutritionists. Come over here, sir. So, we like you to talk to your doctor and get your test done. Although some of them is biased. And if you don't take the chemotherapy, they don't want to treat you. That means they're not. If you don't want to treat your patient because they don't want to do the chemotherapy, you should not be a goddamn doctor. If you don't want to treat the patient as a herbalist because they don't have no money, you should not be a goddamn herbalist. Bottom line. Look for another trade. You see? But they feel that their system only works. So I advise you to take a CBC, a complete blood count with differential. CA 15.3 is a cancer marker, the tumor marker of the breast. So we can look at that. That goes from 0 to 35 or 0 to 38. The doctor will know if your cancer is moving or if it's being aggressive by the tumor marker. Not all the time. If it's high, it can be, but that is the marker that they use to see if your breast cancer is moving. Yeah? Give them an idea. CA 27.29 goes from 0 to 38. And that cancer marker will let your doctor monitor your cancer if it is in the 4th stage and it moved from the breast. So if your cancer is in the 4th stage, your doctor will give you a CA 27.29 and look at the numbers, and that marker monitors stage 4 metastatic breast cancer or recurrence in those who were treated with chemotherapy before who had breast cancer. Those are the things women have to know, because they will ask a woman, did you take the CA 15.3? What's that? Did you take a CA? What's that? You all have to know, because you all have breast cancer. So you all have to educate yourself about the disease that you all have, so no one can fool you all. CEA, all the antigens, proteins, abundant in the bloodstream. Carcinogen, embryonic, antigen test. And this goes from 0 to 5. If those numbers are higher, your doctor will become concerned. It doesn't mean that your cancer is spreading, but usually if the numbers are very high, that means that your cancer is being active. And that's the reason why I work with doctors and let them know, listen, do these tests for me, and then we can work together for the benefit of the patient. Ain't about no who ego problem and I the doctor, I fix that. I don't give a crap. I ain't fix nothing. We work together to fix the patient, because at the end of the day, it's her life we have to try to save. Right? So these are the tests women should take. Yeah? Now let's look at herbs and supplements. When you're on the women's program, it's on the website, patrickdellsholistic.healing.com. Ambrosia have them too. DIM delivery system. Very important. Especially for the ovaries. When a woman have PCOS or ovarian cysts. MCP. Come over here. Modified citrospectin to prevent the cancer cells from creating blood vessels. Or what they do is they uncode the cancer cells so they can move into the bloodstream and fool your macrophages. MCP. Holy immune. Difficult to fight that now. It's very difficult. After I start promoting that, like it's selling out. People buying it up because it's good for cancer. It is made by an oncologist, a smart doctor, because he did research and he put plants and mushrooms and helped to deal with liver detoxification and build the immune system at the same time. And he's an oncologist, Dr. Jeffrey Downs. I love him because he's open-minded. B5, DHEA, minerals, especially if the cancer is in your bones. If the cancer is in your bones, woman, you must use lots of calcium and lots of minerals and trace elements like CMOS. You must use that. Don't let the cancer go into your bones, because it is more difficult to repair it, and it could break your bone and make your bone become brittle. Especially if you have multiple myeloma, cancer of the bones, or from the plasma cells. Yeah? So minerals are important because they buffer the bloodstream and push up your pH to 7.5, 8.0. So you can fight the cancer better than living in an acid terrain. Lymphatic and liver herbs. Because once you have breast cancer, you must work on the lymphatic system and increase the function of the macrophages and the T lymphocytes, because that's where they are. They are in the lymph nodes, in your lymphatic system, to gobble up bacteria and damage cells. But your lymphatic system is so stagnated as a woman, eating out of meat, fresh food every day, clog up the lymphatic system. Cheese, clog it up. Fries, clog it up. Grease, clog it up. So the vessels and the fluids can't move because the vessels and the fluids of the lymphatic system flow parallel to the bloodstream. And that's the reason why when you can't leave your breast, it goes into the lymph nodes carry it into the lung or in the chest cavity, and it go to your liver. So you must work on the lymphatic system, and you must use liver herbs once you have breast cancer, because you're going to tonify and stimulate your liver, and you're going to tonify and stimulate your lung and make them strong in terms of stimulation, so the cancer cannot get in there. You're going to come in, but you can't stay because you're going to kill it. Yes, sunshine. If all you follow my thing, you're going to get sick, you know. Ain't no hospital seeing your old woman. Period. Or you're too greedy. Not you're all greedy, or you eat every day. Herbs, mark them down, please. Red clover, sheep sorrel, periwinkle. Periwinkle, this herb right here. See this herb right here? This herb was taken by them scientists, doctors, and they went into a lab and they removed the 2 chemicals that are good for cancer, because they have 88 chemicals, and they put it into a drug called cisplatin for cancer. But we leave all the 88 chemicals in here because plants work with chemicals, and some chemicals have side effects, but the other chemicals will stop the other chemicals from giving you the side effect. That's how plants work. But when you remove the chemical from the plant, and that chemical have to give you a side effect, it will give you a side effect. Like St. John's wort. If you take all the hyperacin from the St. John's wort, you take all the chemical called hyperacin from St. John's wort, and you put it in a capsule, standardize it to 85% hyperacin. And you take that St. John's wort, you go to the sunlight, you got to put on a shade, because that chemical is very sensitive to sunlight, although the herb is good for depression. But if you leave all the other chemicals in the St. John's wort, that all the other chemicals will cut down on that side effect of the St. John's wort. So if you take the plant itself, you can go into the sunlight without using a shades. Plus, St. John's wort have other chemicals that is good for herpes, HIV, cytomegalovirus, hepatitis, COVID-19, antiviral, right? So periwinkle, orange peel, as I said before, have anti-tumor activity and good for the lung too. So if you have cancer in the breast and the cancer move to the lung, get some orange peel and mix it with some ginger and some saw palmetto and a herb called Prince Seng. Ginseng of the lung. And you're going to tonify the lung and remove the tumor in your lung. Danqui, move the blood. Astragalus, violet leaves, millet thistle, guinea hen weed, self-heal, Cassandra, to drop the cortisol level and balance your stress and prevent inflammation. Prevent inflammation. Prevent your cell membranes from producing your PGE2 and your PGE3. You'll never fix cancer. Examples of inflammation. Cell membranes can cause inflammation if PGE2 or PGE3 is produced instead of PGE1. So once you do not produce PGE1, prostaglandins, and you're producing you are producing PGE2, PGE3, you ain't gonna fix no cancer. You ain't gonna fix no lupus either. Because lupus is what we call phospholipid syndrome. Inflammation. Cytokine storm. So you have to have the cell membranes producing your good prostaglandins, PGE1, and you will be able to fight and kill cancer cells faster, because inflammation is a killer. Yeah? Now, when you go into the doctor, you have to look at your lymphocytes. So if your lymphocyte count is more than 5,000, the B cells per milliliter of blood, it can indicate that you have cancer. And that's why I said before that the blood work is important. Because we go by the lymphocyte count. They have a number. And that's why the doctors will let you know if your cancer is moving from these lymphocytes. These are the numbers here. If it's more than 5,000, the B cells per PL of blood, that can indicate the possibility of cancer in your system. So the blood work is important. Yeah? Woo. Cells, B cells, make antibodies. And what? These cells kill tumor cells. I want to use the word again, the kill, murder tumor cells. And they also help to control our immune response to a disease. Don't make it become overactive and get lupus, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis. But you're getting all these diseases because you are not doing the right thing. You are getting all these diseases because you are not creating an internal environment, a hostile environment, internally to cancer. You're not doing that. You're drinking all night. You're eating all night. You're eating all day. You ain't exercising. You ain't doing no form of exercise. You're stressed every day. Yeah? You worry every day. Yeah? Your cortisol level rising. You're eating foods that is full of hormones and pesticide and herbicide. And you're not cleaning. You're not detoxifying. You're not excreting lots of estrogen or estriol from the liver. You have bad liver health. You're constipated. Lots of hate in your mind. Lots of jealousy. You don't want to forgive, but you're following Christ. You can't fix cancer that way. You can't. Free your mind. Fresh air. Good food. And forgiveness. Don't forget. These things are going to heal you. These things is only a channel to help with the balance. But these things here, they don't heal you either. So no herbalists tell you that herbs just heal you. God said that the plants or the leaves are going to be for the healing of the nation. Healing in what sense? When the herbs go in and the herbs meet a good clean system and all the organs are in balance, the herb in turn will help the body to heal itself. But herbs don't heal nobody. You are the healer from what you put into your internal organs. You see? You don't force them. You make them become bloated every day with lots of food. From still infancy. You put in food in your mouth and say, hey, shut up. And the stomach says, oh, I'll give you some pain. You get bubble in your belly. Noise in your belly pain. That's a false sign. That's telling you that something is wrong. That like a belly pain you get. That like a belly pain that the child had. It's the false sign that something is wrong. But you go, you take some Pepto-Bismol, and you go back again doing the same exact thing, eating the same foods that cause you to have the same troubles. And then cancer develop. The organs say, I'm tired of you now. You never say, F you, I'm tired of you. Your breast say, tired of you. Your kidneys say, high blood pressure too much, tired of you. Your pancreas say, oh yeah, pancreatitis, tired of you. Your bowel say, you're constipated, I can't go to the bathroom no more, I'm tired of you. Colon cancer, hemorrhoids, fistulas. See, it's common sense. So you must clean. And that's the reason why I created this program for women only. Patrick Dells, holistichealing.com. Go download it and follow it if you have cancer. If you don't have cancer, still follow it. You might not need all these things there, but follow the eating program. And you will feel good. Because everybody comes in and they say, oh man, I'm feeling good already. Why? Because they clean it. Follow it. If you can't pay, let me know. We'll send it for you for free. No money, man. Blessed love to everybody. So the program is there, and if you're taking your chemotherapy, you want to take your chemotherapy, make sure that you take your NAC and your glutathione to prevent the chemo from killing your good cells and keep killing the bad cells. If you're taking Taxol, which is a bad drug that suppresses the bone marrow, make sure that you get some B12 to prevent the Taxol from suppressing your bone marrow, so you can have the good cells coming from the bone marrow. Yeah, Andrew Block, come here. See? This guy right here. I created this guy right here. I studied all the herbs in here. I studied them. And I went and I take a whole 3-4 months to create angio blockers. Because when I studied these herbs, I realized this herb could shrink tumors, and this herb can prevent the cancer cell from creating blood vessels, and they shrink fibroids too. So I created this particular formula for that called angio blockers. See? You can look them up. See them? You could go and look them up for yourself. And they are what we call scientifically researched. I know stupidity. Yeah? Wonderful. Wonderful. Give thanks. We are in Grenada again next week, Thursday. Starting our retreat. Yeah? And I'm going to come back and have a book signing in Ambrosia. We're having a big book signing in Ambrosia. Way down in September, early October. You're coming right here. And we have a nice book signing. You all could come in and get your own book signed. You know what I mean? And then you could study the book. And we have another book coming out again on our formulas and the digestive system and cancer. Because I want to talk to some oncologists who could teach me a lot. And I could learn more and put it in a little book. They all could learn from me with herbs. Hey, coming out soon. So Ambrosia, we're going to have a big seminar in Ambrosia. Sometime late September, when I come back to New York, you're going to give me here. If I come back to New York, if I come back to New York, not when. If I come back. Never say when you get up. Always say, if I get up tomorrow. Because you don't know if you can get up tomorrow. So don't say when. Say, if I get up. So if I come up to New York in September, October, we're going to have a nice book signing. You all could come in and get your... Yeah. Roger back in business. Blessed love. And on Monday, we're going to have free consultation. So from Monday morning, because people keep on calling and I'm working in the trenches, I'm very busy. From 5 o'clock in the morning, I work in, I get up at 4 o'clock and I say my prayers and I sit down and I work and I make my formulas and my little lab and I bagging up and I seeding up. So you have to understand. So when you call, I don't answer because if I go on the phone for 15 minutes, I miss a product. So on Monday, if God give me health and strength, on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, I'll take some calls and I'll give you a day like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for free consultation from 9 to 3. All right? And the group members, again, don't forget group members, Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com. We're going to have classes again sometime in October. So be prepared with your books, with your anatomy book for our classes on herbal medicine. Best of luck. Yes, sir.
Mm. Mhm. Just mention Patricia London guys again.
Oh,
Because she's the moderator.
oh, okay.
Because it sounds like
Oh yeah. If anybody see Patricia London guys on the live, Patricia is Ashanti's wife, and she's our moderator. Okay, so don't. She's there for us.
she worked for him.
She worked for Ambrosia. Okay. All right, and then I want to say about the scammers also. The scammers, you know what they're doing now? Them scammers know when I come in New York, when I back in the Grenada. So when you go on Messenger, they even give you my number too. So you're all thinking it's me. So I don't want nobody to go on Messenger because I'm going to do everything on Monday from my phone. Because them scammers still catching all there. They're catching you all still. So because they know when I'm coming to New York and they know when I'm in Grenada and they give me all my Grenada number because they have all the numbers. Because they're looking at the program too. Yeah? And they put up all the videos. So be careful with them. You understand? FaceTime. So on Monday, we're going to do FaceTime. So anytime anybody want to talk to you and says, Patrick, ask them for FaceTime. Don't forget. FaceTime. Look at the face. Look at that.